Hey everyone, just here to give you a brief, hopefully instructional video about the Thanksgiving break interviews that you're going to be doing. I have uploaded everything into its own category, as you can see on my screen here, and there are several material attachments. There's your specific instructions that you open up, and it gives you a background as to what you're supposed to do and what your expectations are. It is the understanding that you will be reading this yourself. So I'm not going to waste our time here reading word for word what it says. However, I'm going to remind you that this is meant to be taken seriously and that you are future you, so approximately 35 years old or so. So you should be making up your experience, your education, and acting as if you're a fully qualified job candidate for whatever career you have your sights set on. The person that you ask to interview you is supposed to work under that assumption also. So the two of you will be doing a role play together where you pretend to be older and they pretend to be your future boss. They're going to go through the instructions I give them, which is the next attachment. And it talks about how I want them to welcome you, shake your hand, confirm the job, and stuff like that. So your side is the flip side. You're supposed to go along with whatever they initiate. When they're introducing themselves, you're supposed to say, "Nice to meet you, Amy. You're happy for the opportunity to be here to interview." Blah, 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 blah. You are going along and playing with it as if you're in theater, if you will, doing a scene, okay? Then you're going to answer the questions fully, completely, with details, not just quick, short answers. If I ask, what are your strengths? You're supposed to give me your strength with a little bit of background, not just, I'm organized. That's awkward. I feel like I'm very organized. Ever since I was in middle school, I've kept a daily planner. I like to plan ahead my week and look at what I have going on. When I have big projects, I map out little due dates for myself to help the organization and not to get behind. See the difference? Big difference in those two answers, okay? So if the interviewer chooses to take notes, you should let them take notes without looking down and staring at their paper. That's extremely awkward and rude. And they should be able to write without staring, without feeling like you're looking at every word they're writing. This happens in real life too. So you should let your person do that during the interview. I want you to interact with the interviewer, have fun, make it a conversation, be realistic, and things of that nature so that you can get what it's like to have a real life interview under your belt. I need you to be prepared at the end with your follow-up questions. These are part of your frequently asked questions page in today's mini lesson about end of interviews. You need to have a list ready. Are you going to pull out that piece of paper and stare at it when your interview is done? No, but you should have thought about it ahead of time so it's on your mind and ready. Okay. At the end, I want you to shake their hand again. Thank them for their time. Tell them you're looking forward to hearing back from them. And then end the interview, walk out of the room, do whatever you need to do to end scene and have a laugh with the person that's doing your interview. At that point in time, you're going to provide them with the feedback form. I'm going to go to that on my screen now. So you see your instructions, their questions, and when the interview is done, you're going to go to the feedback form and you're going to provide them with the feedback form to complete. You need to log into your account and then turn your laptop, your Chromebook, your phone, or whatever it is to them and say, can you please complete the interviewer feedback at this time? Reminding them that you appreciate their honesty because you do want to learn and grow. This is what the feedback form looks like. It's just a Likert scale, 1 through 5 on several of the items. I ask them for some positives. Please remind them to be specific. Saying good job doesn't tell you anything. If they say this person had good eye contact and solid body language, it lets you know you were good there and you don't need to work on that. Okay. Negatives. I ask if you would hire the student, then for their name, their relationship to you, and then verification contact information, because I don't want you faking this and filling it out. I actually want you completing this with another person. The reason why I gave it to you over Thanksgiving break was so you could have a full week and a half to do it, and that you can interact with some of your family and friends during that time. Okay, when they're done, they'll submit it. And it's just a quick little feedback form. If you notice, it's not too crazy. Okay, so if you notice, though, there's 2 feedback forms because 1 interview is required, not optional. You need to finish 1 interview by the end of Thanksgiving break, and the second interview is optional for bonus. So I gave you 2 different forms. If you complete the first interview and then someone else in your family or your friends wants to interview you, then you can do the second form and fill that out and turn it in for extra credit. Now let's talk about what you should give your interviewer. First, you should ask them politely and nicely if they're willing to interview you. Don't just boss them around or assume, okay? Have a conversation, ask them. Then if they say yes, you should give them these interviewer instructions. Personally, if it was me, I would pull it up on my computer and I would just turn my computer and say, here you go, and show them what they're supposed to read and do. You can open this in a new window if you want. You can download it to your computer so they can open it up and have a split screen. You can open this in Google Docs. You can send this to them so they can look at it on their phone. Whatever works for you, you want to give them a quiet moment to read over their directions, to look at what their expectations are. It's pretty self-explanatory, but just in case someone's feeling nervous, I want them to have the opportunity to be able to read over it, okay? Then when they're done reading the directions, you want to give them the question list, interview question list. Everyone is going to start with tell me about yourself, and then they can choose from either column the questions that they ask you to mix and match, or if they don't feel comfortable with that, they can just ask you the columns straight down, okay? When they are done, remind them and ask them politely to please fill out their interview feedback form, and that's it. The interview feedback form is in the form of a quiz. So when they finish it and submit it, it will automatically turn it in for you, and I will see that you completed your interview. Just remember, if you have any questions about anything, go ahead and come to the interview feedback form, make a private comment. Google Classroom will email me, and I'll be checking my email once or twice a day, not every minute, but I'll be checking it to see if you have any questions or concerns. Don't be shy if you do, and let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing week off. Rest up, stay safe, and I'll be seeing you back here at the end of November, early December for our last final 3 weeks of class together. Hope you all have a great week. Bye.